So you're married.
Yes.
And you got the right one.
Okay.
Okay, so how long you been married?
38 years.
Oh, he got to be the right one if you stayed that long.
No, we live in separate homes. That is the right way to live for 38 years.
Wait a minute, wait. How long y'all lived in separate homes?
10.
And it gets y'all, that works for y'all?
Fabulous.
Where y'all live in different states?
No, we live here in Detroit.
In different homes?
Yes.
So how does it work? I'm fascinated. Come on.
You go to your home and I go to mine. We don't have to argue. We don't have to yap. It's a good deal.
And you trust him?
Of course.
He trusts you?
Of course.
How often y'all see each other?
All the time.
But y'all don't sleep in the same place unless you want, you want to do that.
Yeah. But it's a great deal.
My son is behind that camera. He taking all this in.
When you're married that long, it's wonderful. You don't have to get a divorce. Just get in separate houses.
Y'all heard it. When the right one comes, don't have to live under the same roof.
That's right.
Thank you.
38 years. After 28, she said the last 10, you got to move into your own house and I stay in my house, and that's how it's going to work. She just gave us the secret to how you keep a marriage live and viable for 38 years. Once the kids are grown, you go in your house and I'm going to mine.
She got a 30-year-old, you got a 38-year-old girlfriend.
Well, she said they sleep by each other's house when they want to do the hanky-panky. She trusts him,
so.
he trusts her.
Yeah, I guess so. I just wouldn't want to be tied up like that, but
how are you tied up? You got your house. She got hers.
Yeah.
So how are you tied up?
Yeah,
you
I wouldn't
married.
want to be
So your wife has to be under the roof with you.
I mean, I can have a girlfriend. That's just that right there. That's a girlfriend right there. That ain't no real
why you can't
marriage.
have a wife that don't live in the house with you?
No, I wouldn't want to be. Why even be tangled up in something like that? I just wouldn't want to do it. I've been seeing people doing it though, and they seem to think it worked. She seemed to think it worked, but I just wouldn't want to be tied up like that. No. We just might well be girlfriend, boyfriend. I ain't gotta be worried about all that.
We keep hearing all these different ways of doing marriages and relationships and dating and stuff. You got Will and Jada, you got all this other these different types of marriages that people just seem to be able to find somewhere to stay together. I heard Judge Mathis say the other day that him and his wife working it out. He's staying home more. So,
So how that gonna work? So
I don't know. Traditionally, men are thinking.
Who?
Go ahead.
I mean, who gonna be paying the bills? She paying her own bills in her house, and he pay all the bills in his house, and
I'm pretty
how
sure
that
that's
work?
the way it goes, because I know she ain't expecting him to be paying the
That's
bills
what
if
I'm
she
saying.
don't want to live with him. That responsibility probably relies on her, not on him anymore. So I guess what you're saying is they're living like girlfriends and boyfriends. They just happen to be married. And I guess for them, it's the commitment part. It's, just like any committed relationship even for a girlfriend and boyfriend, you have to commit to not being with somebody else. So they just married, which means that the commitment is already there and they just choose. Maybe it's just an issue with their marriage is that they bump heads. So rather than being in the same house where they're always arguing and fussing and possibly bumping heads, is they love each other, but they just do better not living in the same house together now that their children are grown. Because she said they only been doing that for the last 10 years, which probably indicates, because when he asked her, do you have the right one? And she said, I don't know, So he said, you must if you've been married for 38 years. So I think what has happened possibly is that they went through 28 years of marriage, the kids got grown, and they separated. And then they started hanky-panking and being with each other. And this is just how it has failed. So now that it's failed this way, what she's saying is, yes, am I still married? But we don't live under the same roof. Have we gotten a divorce? No. So I think it's more one of those things.
Yeah, that makes more sense right there. That make more
She
sense.
trying to
They
dress
probably
it up.
separated. She
Yep.
went off and got her own house. Instead of coming back, they probably tried to come back together. Like, nah, we ain't gonna do this. It ain't gonna
Yep.
work that way. So I just go back to my house, but we ain't gonna file for divorce.
Right. And they just kind of, when they want to see each other and sleep with each other, they do. And on the other time, they do whatever they want. So she just, because she's being put on the spot and act, she just kind of made it sound more like something that's arranged, but it wasn't arranged. They separated and they didn't divorce, and they still are sleeping with each other. And neither one of them has gotten a divorce. That's the bottom line
Yeah.
to that.
No, that's a lot. Yeah, that it's a lot of that go
Yeah,
on.
that's
It's a
what that
lot of
is.
that go on.
Yeah, and eventually at some point they either go ahead on and get a divorce when one finds somebody that they like better, or they end up realizing, like you say, it's not financial feasible, and they come back together. That's just what that is. That, they just have separated, and their lives are working better with them being separated than with them being under the roof. There's some things, and at that time, I think this is time where couples might need some counseling or need some other help to assist, because this is not conducive. But if it works, I guess they say they're not sure, because she couldn't even answer him straight when he asked her, do you have the right one? So she could not confirm that the man that she spent 38 years of her life with is the right man for her. So I think that's what this more
Yeah,
is.
she probably didn't want to turn him loose, but she don't really. I don't think she was feeling him like that. Probably never was. This is a situation where it goes back to what I say. When you chase a woman down and twist her arm to be with you, and even though she stay with you, this is probably how that's probably how it ends up, and where she can leave. She don't, he might be, you know, financially stable. Might not be a rich man. Might be financially stable enough for, she can trust him with a few things better than she can going to meet somebody else. But she really ain't into him like that.
Well, I think this is one of those things that where people don't know how to come to bring the marriage back together or to hold it together, because once the kids are grown, see, that's the thing that we fail to realize, that when you get into a marriage, the kids are not there, so it's just you and that other person. And so when kids get involved, then we talk about we got to make some sacrifice. So the woman is pretty much leaning more with taking care of the kids and doing the kids. The dad is trying to be the provider. The kids start to grow up, they become a little bit more independent, and then you got all these events and things that you're chasing with as kids. And then the kids grow out and they go get their own life. And now it's just you and that person again back together, but y'all different. Y'all older now, you've learned more, your experiences in life are different. And so now you two gotta find a way to still want to be with each other, because you don't have the kids as a middle piece anymore. See, a woman can wrap herself up with the kids so much. A man can wrap himself up with making the money and the job to be able to take care of the kids and all these things as they increase, because the older kids get, the more things kids need. And so you divide that, and the kids are what you use as the excuse. Now that the kids are out the way, we got to find a way to love each other again, to be with each other again. Because, see, you may tone the arguments down and the nights are not having sex for the sake of the kids, and that may work in some situations. But then, okay, now that we've removed the elements of the kids, what's next? Do we even each other anymore?
Yeah, it's bad when a woman she just don't want to be around you, but sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dog, you might as well just.
Because there's a hidden syndrome. When you have somebody and you with somebody, everybody wants you, and then when you get out on your own and you're back into the dating pool, it's not as easy what you think. But then you start to learn as a person that the things that I thought that was maybe so big and I couldn't tolerate, after all, it probably ain't that bad when you start experiencing some of the other things that you'll find with other men and women out there in the street. So then you start to look at your partner and say, maybe that wasn't so bad. Maybe the thing that I made such a big deal and act like I couldn't get over, like leaving the toilet seat up or the toothpaste or any little naggy thing, wasn't so big when you see all the other issues that somebody else may have and bring to the table. You know, it's like knowing this is my good car. I know it. I know what's wrong with it. I know how to operate it. If this happened, I can fix it. But I got this one over here, and I'm not sure. Now, it looked better than the one I have, but when I raised up and looked under the hood, the motor don't look so good. The transmission don't look so good. You know, the back seat's got a cut in it. Just one of those things.
Yeah.